Ah, we're live. Only a minute late. Yeah. So this is exciting times. Foxhole gets an Airborne update next year, and like 5 people say, "What is Foxhole?" It'll slap you. You need to be a connoisseur of video games. I will show you what Foxhole is, sir. And so my wife is making coffee right now for excitement. Oh, try again. Up there. Oh. And when she's done, we'll get started. For now, you'll be stuck with my ugly mug, and that's exciting. And I need to share links and things, but it's going to be a good time.
Let me find you the ugly mug.
We got like I think I need to like for a lot of.
No, you just need a plain white mug that says ugly mug.
Ugly mug. We should sell those. That would be hilarious. That would sell. Gosh. First, I would share links and things for all you crazy people.
It to be a beautiful swan.
Yeah. And then it bought an ugly duckling mug. Hey, this is Grizzly House.
What is it making our water? There's the water too. Nice and hot. I won't for myself this time.
Alright. Paste the link twice, I don't care. Live now. Yes. Come join the fun. Live now, gents. Caps lock. Come harass Mama Grizzly. Don't you love when I do all this back scene stuff right in front of you guys?
Tell us people you're genuine.
Yeah.
And generally don't care.
Did I really misspell Grizzly? That's just shocking. Shocking, I say.
Do you spell with 2 S's?
I think I mixed something up. Anyway.
Was that very exciting for you?
You're too exciting.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It strikes me that a lot of you might not know what Foxhole is. As I understand it, it's popular, but it's not that popular. It is a massive MMO. I might even be able to find this like a thing for it. A massive MMO where there's 2 factions, thousands of players. They're not. I don't know what the player cap is, but they're in shards in different regions. And everything has to be built by players. Even the bullets have to be made. The rifles, the vehicles, all of it have to be made. And there's so many things that can be made, from artillery to battleships to tanks to doggos. Say hi, doggo. Yes, you're a wonderful doggo. Thank you for your doggo-ness. Yes.
For doggo service.
Your doggo service. All right. I should get into my Discord. You're a dog. You're such a dog. All right. You guys yell at Mama Grizzly for a little bit in the background. I'm gonna share something on my computer. It's in the corner over
I
here.
got your coffee. I got your coffee.
Entertain them like you can do it.
Coffee. Okay, I did it. Oh man. Wish we had more of that bread.
That's true.
Because that would go on well.
Just homemade bread.
I made bread in a crock pot today.
All random things.
And like 3/4 of it is demolished. Gone.
Oh my gosh. Why am I so slow?
What are you doing?
I'm sharing this on a Discord that I don't have. I'm looking at you from over here, wife. Are you distracted? Looking at yourself on screen?
I'm beautiful.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, man. I'd rather record myself laughing than crying. I'm not like those people. All right. my cup of iced coffee. You can't just have one. I'll steal it.
Yeah, make yourself some coffee.
Clackety clack clack.
Bam.
There we go.
Now the clan boys, if they really want to, can see it. Ridiculousness.
Yeah, you made the seat really warm. I like it. Thank you.
Wait a minute. You
Yes.
cheated.
No, this is a video game chair.
This is a video game setup.
Video
Is that it?
Okay.
You don't make yourself up? Oh, there you go.
I make myself up. No, I'm real.
Yeah. Okay.
That was a horrible joke. It's horrible. Never again.
Oh, really?
No.
It's funny. I need to help make Foxhole more popular because I want to make more videos about it, but people don't want to watch. It's sad. But it's a good time. It's one of those games. Like there's a whole logistics in it. Like you have to drive everything to the front. It doesn't just magically appear there. Yeah. And so it's really exciting that they're adding air power. It's also interesting because it's a top-down game. So I'm very curious to know what kind of mechanics they went with. You know, because there's been other Airborne-esque top-down games. It seems to me there's a couple of different methods that people have tried in the past. We'll see if there's like a... Oh, do we need to buy more sugar?
I bought more. I just haven't refilled it yet because I want to use the old stock first.
You just haven't reloaded, huh?
I haven't pushed R to reload. I have to refine my own grain sugar at the sugar mill.
Tell the lighting to calm down. Holy cow.
I was wearing a dark jacket.
No, yeah, well,
and your arms
my head's going crazy again. Stop bald shaming me.
This is wonderful hair. You need to wear a hat.
Anyway, we're going to have some fun with this. I'm going to get into I'm gonna make my wife watch it. And what? Make my wife watch? Make my wife watch it, not what the heck just happened. And then we're going to get into crazy crazy speculation mode. We'll probably get into the update that's coming here in like November 18th too. There's some exciting stuff with that. I'm not gonna lie. I played a little bit of the dev branch to get a feel for it. I like the new weapons. I like some of it. I don't know about the 20mm changes. I'm hoping.
That sounds a little too big.
Well,
that's joke bait.
What's a joke? Wasn't paying attention. I was trying to let them know what they're into.
That's a little too big there.
Mm-hmm. Wife. As I understand it, it can. They're adding some elements where you can suppress them, but it doesn't do damage like it used to. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. On one hand, it seems like they're trying to make it have unique cases, but also not as powerful since they're making really powerful 20mm guns that have like automatic fire and burst fire. So I guess they're trying to not make tanks too scared.
How's your coffee?
It's delicious. It was perfect. Well done. No, we're good.
Okay.
But we're going to mostly concentrate on the airborne aspect. I'm probably going to play the game when they get their new thing out because I don't know. I'm kind of excited about the melee updates and the new infantry-focused facility building. Yes, there's Factoro. So if you've ever liked the Factoro game, but you wanted someone to try to destroy your factory every now and then, Foxhole is the game for you. Or if you want to destroy somebody else's factory, like a proper partisan. Wife is breaking out cookies too. That's exciting. Yeah, it's my bald head, and you're very white. You're freaking.
I'm darker than you.
I know we're in Florida. We don't have an excuse. It's not like it's cold around here, even though you're wearing that ridiculous jacket.
It's fall, and I am.
It's fall at 80 degrees, and you're wearing a jacket.
I am in winter in spirit.
All right, 10 minutes here.
I will love my biscuits and European blood is coming out.
All right. Let's do the thing, wife.
That must have been brown.
It probably was.
Oh,
And then
fun.
was it full? Yeah.
Do you go back here and
Yeah.
watch it?
Yeah. Yeah, now we're talking.
Yeah, okay. And then
Wait a minute, I gotta hit play on the other screen. No. This is only about a minute long, and then
sorry.
give me a cookie. Oh man. So I'm gonna eat
You had
this
these
cookie.
with peanut butter, didn't you?
I did, they're delicious though.
Don't worry, I won't do that.
Anyway,
It's not I mean
we will watch. I will let you guys watch it first, because it's only like a minute long, and then we can continue. All right. I forgot why. Airplane. Cookie. Oh yeah. Excited. Give me another cookie. You're making me hungry.
you got really interrupt the sound.
I think it's fine. All right. Maybe we will turn up the sound just in case. So,
My cookie.
doggo attack for cookies. So there.
Mine.
The Foxhole community's gone crazy for that for a good reason. Because this is the first any flying anything has been included. If you're new to Foxhole, you saw those battleships. You have to have like 20 players in those to fully crew them. It's great. So it's going to be exciting to see how they handle that with air power, because we saw those little fighters, right? Those little fighters. Where are they? Oh.
I think I'm gonna have to let the cat in the
You know, hang on, everybody. I'm going to share a different screen right now, because that's going to be too much issues. It's my wife fights a cat. It's either box. Yeah, you. All right. Sorry about. Yeah, wife. All right. Sorry about the confusion here. To sharing, then share the announcement trailer. So easier for me to jump around without the issues. There we go. So
loud enough? Okay. Maybe you're louder if you need to.
I'll make you louder, wife. So yeah.
I did not hear that.
Yeah, you
I
did.
refuse to hear.
Yeah, you did. These fighters right here will be the first vehicle in game that can be 100% handled and operated by one person. Barring the logistic trucks. Maybe the Jeeps. But all those vehicles at least have secondary positions. For like, there's rowboats. There's a bicycle. Excuse me. There's a bicycle, wife. There's a bicycle. One person, one seat. The bicycle and this jet fighter will be, yes, you can, are the very first vehicles that are completely solo play. Only one person in. Like this, they take the crazy approach of like, there's a gunner in your tank, there's the driver, there's the commander, there's the machine gunner if it has a machine gun. Yeah, they go full wild. So that's how things are in this game. Like everything requires more than one person to do, or it takes a really long time and you beat your head against the wall.
I'm really curious what they do for islands when it comes to the air stuff. Because will you be having to make your own airstrip there for landing? Ooh. Or will you be having like some kind of like a dock thing that you'll be landing on?
Dock thing?
Airfield, right? But on a, you know what I mean.
Yes.
Why you have to make this weird?
I don't know.
Excuse me.
I was just
I
letting
already
you.
mentioned the landing pad on the
Okay,
landing strip.
So
That's a landing. That's the airfield's the landing strip. You know. I'm talking about by the water. Do they use the boats, the aircraft carriers, or?
Well, we don't know what we're gonna get. I could say with probably a good 95% chance that there will not be aircraft carriers because that's a big old ship, and they could get away with making that.
This is naval, and now air stuff combined, and they had a beautiful baby.
Yes, beautiful doggo baby.
I am talking here. Stop.
Yes, aircraft carriers are high on my list. And actually, I think that the devs will probably do that.
Make things move further, and
further. Yes, it would.
If you had to build stuff on land, and then if you wanted to move things to the to an island for temporary fixes and all that mods and stuff.
Wife plays the game. If you haven't noticed, she's enjoying the logistical.
That's the part I'm curious about. Everybody wants to go on their big land and everything and be all huddled down like a cattle house, just ready for the slaughter.
Wife, are you doing the slaughter?
It might be if I had my own landing strip.
I took her into one combat mission. She charged a gunboat, and now she's obsessed.
I used a big gun.
Yeah. Anyway,
I did a lot of building for that. By the way,
it's true. She discovered howitzers.
You could help me build, and you can play with fireworks afterwards.
Yeah, and then she got blown up. I got her blown up doing her first artillery run. But we'll talk about a little bit about airfields and.
Right.
So, okay. We'll get into the crazy speculation time because this is fun. If we look right, we have this area here. This is obviously building.
Here. Yes.
Whether or not this is
my co-pilot.
Your co-pilot. Yes. I'm assuming what we're looking at here is the equivalent of the dry dock, but in airborne form. Now, of course, maybe it's something that's built on like a garage where it's only in certain places on the map and you have to take things out to get constructed. But given the fact that we have...
You actually have a little trailer for that thing.
I don't think you could move the light, but that would be really cool if you could.
I know, but like, look, it's got a little...
You hear that,
Is that for your speedboat?
We want
it's for my little light.
Spotlights. But like, because here, right, we have... the airplanes being shipped. That hints to me that you make at least parts of the airplanes,
and they had bridges. You saw the clip, the part of the clip that had it on the bridge like thing.
Well, yes, that's
okay. So if you
we have bridges now in the game.
Island to island hoppers.
No. On that note,
hoppers in this case,
we do have paratroopers. So there could very that could be a very good option for taking an island. I don't know, but you're going crazy already. I'm like trying to like focus in on one detail. You're like, woo, wow, bam. How about if you thought about that? Damn, girl. Anyway, so the way the game works now, if you want to make these pretty battleships and things, is you have to make a big old building called a dry dock. Really expensive. It takes resources. You make facilities that make the parts of the ships, and then you ship those pieces to the dry dock, which constructs which constructs your big old battleship. You can see a little guy right there. Isn't he so cute?
Shadow from the airplane.
Yeah, he's a little shadow. It's so cute. Anyway,
he's running. From what? I don't know.
I think it's a safe assumption that we're probably looking at a situation where our hangar over here is the airborne version of the dry dock. So you make these, you build the aircraft parts, probably engines, probably some other things, at a facility, and then you would take them to your hangar where you assemble them. Like the dry dock, I imagine these will be really, really expensive and will need very specific locations on the map to make work. Like a dry dock, you need a certain amount of land right up to the water, and where you place them is really important for defensive reasons. Same thing with this, I would imagine. Now, so that's not the craziest speculation in the world, but that looks like what we're seeing. Will it be like the ships though, and you can only completely fix the armor and fix health 100% at one of these hangars? Or could we possibly fix them 100% on the field? And what I mean by the field is if we go over here before my wife rudely interrupted.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Where did it go? Where'd it go? I lost it.
I'm just really happy.
I know. I'm excited too. Here we go. Notice this, right? This thing right here. This thing they're pulling off on that just looks like a freaking dirt road in the snow. That is significantly different than this. All right. See, we got pavement here. We got a nice
lines.
hangar. You got lines. And then over here, we have, where would it go? I lost it again, guys. I'm so high. And then over here, if I can find the damn thing, we have an airstrip. And I'm thinking, this is what I'm hoping, is just like how we have that, the, not dry dock, but that dock thing we can make anywhere in the world, basically. So it looks like a dock. I don't think you've seen them, right? They're kind of jutting out into the water. I forget their exact name. They take 20 metal beams to make, right? Remember, with those, you can restock your battleships, maybe plug holes, but you can't fix damage. I'm hoping airstrips will be the same thing. They'll need specific flat ground in the world. You can land aircraft there. You can rearm them, maybe do basic repairs, but you won't be building aircraft or assembling aircraft there. And you can't fix them up all the way, like their armor, and you eventually need to ship them back or fly them back to the hangar to get all the way repaired. That
you can fly.
Yes. That way you could have a forward airfield or an airfield right next to your facilities to fight bombers, that kind of thing. I like it. Now, wife made me kind of jump the gun a little bit.
I am so sorry.
But that's okay. I thought this was an interesting little detail that we have what clearly looks like two different types of airfields. You can usually glean a lot from these kinds of trailers because they're kind of putting forth what they want it all to be. So you have, since the dry dock situation works so well for ships, it makes sense for them to repeat it again with their air power. Water planes, yes. Yes. Debs, when will we have boat planes? Those are real.
I want boat planes.
You want the blue plane. All right. So something else to look at here that I think.
Oh, fire.
You know, we'll just run through it again, and this time I'll talk. Yeah, here now to our planes. Now, quick note here. You guys might notice, and I'm pretty sure that in here, this looked like this is in-game footage, right? This isn't. Like, we've all been on these landing ships. First of all, they don't go all the way out there on the beach unless they're changing that. This is trailer right here.
Yeah, the water's too
yeah, you can also notice the tanks look a little funky. Right here again, right? The tanks look a little funky. Now, it's possible, I will say, this is possibly in-game, but I think it's not because the tanks look funky. But it could be what if they have a higher plane, like a higher altitude, besides what they're showing.
He's got a gunner.
It's fun. There's two gunners. Look at them. It's so fun. I love your excitement. This is why I bring you on these things. But I'm
so cute.
I'm leaning towards this.
So that's
being
like a third-person plane. You got the driver. You
know,
got two people.
and
How many people would that be?
And then what we're talking about with that bomber, I would actually probably say
4?
you're leaning
you got
towards
somebody inside too. 4
or 5 people because you're going to have your pilots, you're going to
Right.
have your 2 gunners, you're going to have a bombardier, so the guy who actually drops the bombs, and
you're
then a
gonna have-
navigator would be my thinking. Because most of the ships have that as well. The gunboats, for example, have 3 gunners, a driver position, and then a guy who's in like a commander seat that has a long vision. And I would imagine we would have a similar situation here. But, that's just me.
They can maybe have rounds.
Now, again, this looks like not in-game. This doesn't look in-game. But we can see important here. Because I was wondering how they might set this up. And you'll see later on in the footage. We'll get to it. Right. See how low these guys are flying? This is in-game footage right here. Like they look like if I was standing on this smokestack, I could spit on these guys. They call it scum. You slap on my battleship. Okay. And we notice with these fighters, we'll come back again, how low they're flying. Shows them flying really low, except here's this interesting point where they're kind of flying out to the side. But again, see how low they're flying.
Okay, you get.
Makes me think these again really low flying, but that one I'm mixed on if it's actual in-game footage or not. It looks like it could be either. Now, what's important about that is it looks like in this point in development they only have like a low flying. If you know what I mean, like right now. They only have one plane, one level of flight, if you will. Because remember, you're top down. So I imagine they needed some kind of mechanic for going up and down. Now, we do already have that in game. Like I was hoping, but I also kind of thought we would see air power because with the creation of the submarines, they had to come up with a way to go lower and higher between planes. Which, if we're getting into the kind of technicals of top-down games, but if you're only on like one flat plane, you don't have to worry about going up and down. The engine probably didn't even have anything for that until they made it for the submarines.
I didn't know that.
So that's why I suspect all the in-game footage right now is all like one plane really low to the ground because they're just trying to get the flight mechanics kind of situated right now. But we can see early in the trailer what the intention is. The intention...
They're doing more complex maneuvers.
Yeah. The intention is for them to be able to fly low and high. Like right here, they want the ability to come in high and shoot at things, right? It'll be interesting to see how exactly they accomplish it. But I think what will probably look like, I want to see what they do, will be something like either a couple different planes you can fly to and hopefully have some control to get to the different levels, if you will, different ceilings.
Oh, that's a cool.
We're going in. But, not going to talk too much about the mechanics.
No, they're dropping mushrooms.
But talking about these mechanics can help us understand what we're going to see. So I should also bring up... Nah. Yeah, okay, we'll bring it up. No, we won't. I don't need it.
It's gonna.
I don't need to bring up that much stuff.
Oh, hey!
Arcanes! You here?
Foxhole!
Well, you know what? It's a trailer. If you haven't seen it, this is Foxhole, and it's...
But this is the Airborne
update that's coming up next summer. I'll show it to you again because it's only a minute long. Wait, that's not it. Because I never get old. Like, I love watching this. Like, look at this. It's so entertaining. Those ships have dozens of people in it. Good stuff. We never thought we were going to... I hope. I always thought it would eventually happen. But now that it's here...
Now that it's happening soon,
With, like, summertime. Like, I usually play Star Citizen where, like, updates are years in the making. So having it 6 months, I get it. Oh, so soon? You crazy, man? I can't handle this. Like, don't you need like 5 years to get me a bomber?
You have to wait a whole generation here.
I thought my grandchildren would see it. But yeah.
By the time we get a new computer for it to work.
But for Arcane's sake, this is a massive multiplayer game that's top down. But there's hundreds of players. Everyone's a player, though there's some AI stuff, but only in the defenses, so you can build a turret that'll shoot, essentially. Not a turret, like a defensive bunker, blah, blah, blah. And everything has to be built. The ammo has to be built. The rifles have to be built. The vehicles have to be built. You saw that little bit with the train with the disassembled airplanes? All right. It is good. You should check it out. I think it's $30?
I think so.
And all the expansions are free.
$29.90.
They've literally been adding expansions since 2017. Makes me feel old. But
Wait,
we're
what
doing.
year?
I think it came out in 2017.
The year we were dating.
Shoot, no,
22.
it's got to be earlier than that. Then.
It's got to be more than that, though.
Yeah, because
But
I
that's
think
only
I
7
started
years.
playing
You played
it.
before.
Yeah, before we were married. Before we were dating, I was playing this game every now and then.
So,
I remember it in
2015?
I gotta check
Let me
this.
Let me see.
Like 2 years before we started dating, I think is what.
So
it came out.
2015. So okay.
Something around there. Its first update probably came in 2017. You know,
Okay.
the Foxhole nerds that eventually find this game. Wow, we've been talking for 30 minutes.
Naval Warfare.
That's its latest update. Foxhole.
Okay, just Foxhole in general.
Foxhole's had a lot of updates. You remember when they came out with the trains and the flamethrowers?
Yes, I remember that. Okay, wow, my brain. What year did Foxhole?
The pyro update. That was exciting.
Okay, I remember.
Not as cool as the naval
2017.
Update. Oh wow! How about
It's
that?
young.
That's not young. Why if it's 2024? That's 7 years ago. That's an old game, baby.
When you say old game, I think like Red Alert.
That is okay. That is old.
Or further. That's like our childhood there.
This is true. All right. Okay.
It was probably about 8 years old by the time I started playing it.
Oh my god! All right.
Based in Toronto, Ontario. Interesting.
Oh, they did sound rather French.
Yeah.
It's fun.
French Canadian.
I always thought they were French. It's good.
French Canadians.
Yeah, forgive me, boys. I'm also bringing up the Airborne information page in case we want to read it.
Somebody said, "Is Foxhole dead?" No, Foxhole is not dead.
Is Foxhole dead? That's the AI. AI that can't think or know anything for reals. Is Foxhole dead?
I think somebody actually read that.
Good times.
It was a Steve account.
All right, so we'll get back into our wild speculation because it's a good time. So, where were we? Where should we go next? So, something when you're looking at these trailers with developers, they're always trying to kind of hint at what they're doing, what they want to do, and what their game design is basically going for. So, I think a key moment here is we see ships right off the bat with planes in the silhouette, and if we look, we'll combine stuff with the naval stuff. We land. I think the money shot for what they want is right around here. Here we go. Yeah, notice bombing the battleship. Let me show that again for my naval scum boys. Bombing the battleship. And one more time. That's you, scum. That's us. Okay. Well, one more time for emphasis because I want to. What I mean to say is
that's how they won the war last time.
Yeah, we kicked too much ass. All right, our battleships destroyed too much stuff, and now they're like, "You see these airplanes, collies? This is your answer." Non-facetiously, there isn't a whole lot of counters to battleships except for submarines right now and other naval units. This, and honestly, like maybe swarms of gunboats if it's an unskilled crew, if you know what I mean. But your average player or a group of 5 guys, 3 or 4 guys hopping in, really don't have a counter for a battleship coming in. They're basically just fodder. What would this update do that we got to pay attention to as naval guys? Well,
wait back the last few seconds.
Yes, I think my wife's humor has the right idea. Like, let's get excited. Right, 5 guys could probably operate that bomber, right? And it looks like a lot of explosions.
And I know it's not just a chimney there.
Right. And remember, until they do bring out aircraft carriers in, right, your battleships are going to be vulnerable to the bombers. Now, it's going to be really interesting to see how they handle this, because obviously you don't, if they make this where the battleship's completely helpless against bombers, then they're never going to bring a battleship out, because battleships are slow, bombers are fast, and if all the enemy team has to do is break out a bomber to destroy a battleship, then battleships are just a waste of money. They take a ton of resources to make. They're crazy, time consuming to run and to teach guys how to use them properly. It's crazy. Like the amount of times I've heard like the scum guys who I hang out with, like the clan is scum. I love that our name is Scum, by the way. It cracks me up every time. And the other faction hate us so much. I remember we went on an island in the last war of 117. Was it 117? Yeah. I remember I was just fighting, and one of my scum guys died next to me, and I was near him, and they were going to kill us. So one of the collies comes up and goes, "No, you keep that guy alive. I need to do something special. We hate scum." I think they threw him in the ocean or bayoneted him. It was pretty entertaining. Sometimes Foxhole is, in fact, a war crime simulator.
Guys, especially after you killed a guy just by chasing them around a tank.
I wasn't part of scum when I did that, to be fair.
No, you did that.
But that was fun.
It sure helped you become part of that.
No. I met our chief scummy boy Hines on an island one day when I tried to take it by myself, and then he was there.
That's nice.
And I brought them resources.
A nice moment.
Yes, it was great. We killed a bunch of people. We bayoneted. Bayoneted.
Shish kebab.
It's a good time. Yeah. But I'm curious to see what they do, because there's a couple options they can do. We for sure are going to have 6 new vehicles with this update. People are like, whoa, 6, that's a lot. Yes, it's going to be 6, because we already have an interceptor fighter for the Wardens. That's one faction. We have a bomber for the Collies, and then that transport vehicle at the end. This bad boy is also confirmed a Collie ship, airplane.
Airship.
He has a little gun right there. A little gun. Isn't that pretty? You can actually get a better image if I share. Oh, sorry about this. Real quick, if I share down here, you can get a better image. Look at it. So you're interested in the bomber, huh? Yeah, the little pilot outfits. Look at the little pilot outfits. Also, we're getting pilot outfits before we get naval outfits. I call bull. As much as I'm excited for airpower, where is my fancy sailor outfit? I'm just saying.
So this is the thing you're talking about. Eh?
Now, we don't know any details about it other than it can drop troops.
That it could fly.
And it has a little gun on the roof. Look at it. It's so cute. I'm hoping that this is the equivalent of our cargo truck.
Me thinks also it's submersible there.
No, there's no way they're doing that. I mean, if they do,
that's not bad.
I would be so excited.
Because it looks pretty wide up there. No?
I don't think so. There's no way.
My hopes. Don't dream.
Hey,
don't trumple. Because this one don't have it.
No.
See? Look at the bottom. It's got a little thing on the bottom. This
Wife really wants a floating plane so bad. I'm very entertained by this.
I mean, the back is higher up than an average. See that?
Yes, but wife, if you remember, the seaplanes need those little things on the side.
They need to be high
to be balanced, not to crush your dreams. They need those little balancing things, otherwise the wings get caught in the water and they get. Not saying that.
I saw.
Well, you know what? Siege Camp, Dev Man, you've heard it from my wife first. Make those things float, and she will be forever in your debt. Bring her dreams to reality. Floating cargo planes.
I'm just a woman with a dream.
Hey, it could happen down the line. It could happen down.
Why is our video dead?
Our video's not dead. What? Our video died?
Let me look. Did you exit out? No, we're still streaming.
It says we're still streaming.
I mean, look.
Can you hear us, Arganes? Oh, man.
Okay, we're good.
Oh, Arganes, you scared me. Oh, man.
It's just really... Okay, we're good. Let me see where it goes. Huh?
Okay, it's back. Okay. Arganes, you scared me. Oh, okay, God. Now you're causing problems. You're causing confusion and delay. Anyway. So.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, as you can see, we have some more details here. Air warfare. Foxhole's online persistent war takes to the skies, expanding the massive player-driven conflict from land, sea, to air. ground, naval, and
Combined
now airborne
sandbox.
players all converge in the same playable world to create a seamless online paratroopers. Like, they're really excited about that. They included it. Like, paradrop with your squad behind hostile lines to cripple supply chains and sabotage enemy equipment. That is going to be a lot of fun. Though I have a feeling I'm going to be the guy in the Logi truck getting ambushed a lot. Logistics. The logistics chain has expanded production and as you saw down here. Yay. Every pilot is a player. Climb into the cockpit as a pilot and gunner and okay.
Well, they make you sound so heartwarmed, welcomed right there.
Yep, and that's pretty much all the details on that page. So we will go back to, okay, it's back. We'll go back to sharing the
video. That one. Oh, that one. Okay.
Yeah. So this ship here, this plane, excuse me, this thing here, right?
Airship.
Hey, baby, one day. But
this
thing right here, I'm hoping it's more than just a dedicated paratrooper thing, because there's two possibilities. Either it's a general like cargo airplane, which also if we can drop supplies and parachutes, that'd be fun.
Or shoot off a tank like in the 18 where
hey, the Russians literally made a tank with wings on it. If they can make it in real life, we could put it in Foxhole. It was a glider.
It makes me think of the 18 when they did that.
Every time we paratroop, we'll put the 18 music on, babe. Just for you. Just for you. That would be a blast. But
literally.
So because this factional game has faction-specific vehicles and guns and all that, that means we're gonna get an interceptor, 2 interceptors, 1 on each faction, 2 bombers, 1 for each faction, and 2 cargo planes at least. This seems obvious. Like they're already kind of showing that's where they're going. They have 6 months to do it. These are much smaller than the ships they made. And when they did the naval update, they made I think it was 3 unique ships for each side, because they redid the gunboats for each side. They made a battleship for each side. They gave one side a submarine and one side a destroyer. And then the next update, they added stuff on the other side. So everyone had subs.
What they did with the machetes on one side and the clubs on the other.
Mm-hmm. Every time. It is, what is asymmetrical.
Asymmetrical.
But fairly balanced, depending, it's balanced to one side. Okay. Only sound. Huh. Are we back again? I think it's when I tried to share the that website. I wonder if YouTube. No. You know what it is?
Yeah, it works now.
It's got to be the website. There are probably some copyright issues or something stupid.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Rude. That's okay. Sorry about that. Anyway, I was just showing.
If you get a copyright strike,
Well, they blacked it out, so.
Okay.
She Camp wants people to share this stuff. I don't own any of this. I am just an enjoyer of random things. All right?
That's what he said.
So, I'm hoping this plane here is actually a cargo plane that can also be used for paratroop drops. That way, it could also be used in logistical chain stuff. Remember that bit where we said there appears to be 2 different types of airfields? Yeah. You got the really tough, strong-looking one that's where you would clearly build the airplanes, maybe even store them there, and then it looks like you just had an ad hoc strip. Well, it'd be nice. Ad hoc strip, wife. It'd be nice. Well, it'd be nice if you could make those airships in more places and you could land an aircraft and distribute supplies. Now, obviously, this should be less efficient than using a truck. Maybe they can't hold as much of a truck, or they just burn through a lot more fuel, so it's not as efficient. But it's faster, so you can get certain things faster going. I personally hope they make it so you can parachute supplies as well.
That was the cat.
I just slapped her glasses, Max. Anyway, because there's a big thing in this game. I don't know if I can show you the map, but I'm scared to do anything else because of what's been happening with the screen, so we won't do that. But basically, it comes in these hexes, and you can actually cut people off from their logistics, so they'll run out of ammo, they'll run out of lives, and you eventually overwhelm them, right? So being able to go to a siege like that and airdrop supplies. I mean, come on. That's the kind of gameplay everybody wants. Now, we're for sure getting that. We're going to get into something else.
What would the maps for the airplanes look like?
That's another question that people were wondering because there are
the navigation.
Because remember, there's also borders in this game. I don't even know how they're going to handle that. But basically, you get to a border and you have to press E and sit there for a while, and then you jump into another shard, which is another region. So I don't know how the airplane's going to sit there, but not use fuel. How's that going to work?
Wow, there's 37 hexes.
Oh yeah,
map.
It's a big map, babe. I've showed you. You've gotten lost in it before.
Yes. I'm just.
But it's another guy made the suggestion that maybe there's another map above everything that the airplanes can use to travel between hexes. The idea, like you're flying high.
Would their map have like a elevation map thing?
Well, with that, I would think what would happen is
like
if you did a high enough elevation, you would enter that plane above.
What do they do for submarines?
Submarines have the same mechanic, but they just they're under the water, above the water. But particularly for crossing borders, I did like the sound of that. The idea was there's a high plane that since all there is airplanes on it, they'd be able to have just one over the entire map, and it would be able to travel, and then you would lower yourself to go into a hex. I like that one. We'll just have to see how the devs want to handle it. Now, because teamwork is so important in this game, we need to also get into our minds. Oh, man, I'm skipping ahead, but that's okay. That airplanes are going to have a limited range. I don't think we'll be flying across the whole map. I think that's going to be the point of the smaller airstrips is maybe you're a hex and maybe another hex away, if that makes sense. Maybe 2 or 3 hexes is your range. So you're going to have to make forward airfields if you want to attack, rear airfields if you want to defend. Incidentally, this is a real life problem. If you know, in World War II, part of the reason why Operation Barbarossa was so overwhelming in the beginning was the Russians actually had a really advanced air force, but the Germans caught the entire Russian air force on the ground, on their airfields. Hello, Kitty. Yes. Say hi, Kitty. Say hi. Say hi to the people. Meow. Yes. Meow. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm just looking for maps.
Oh, orange fluffy tail balls. You don't want to see that.
Shows them more.
Anyway, so
that cat just made you so white.
I know. I'm hoping this is probably going to be the case, because then you have to strategically plan out where your airfields are, and if you closer to the front means the more targets you can attack with them, but the more likely they can be destroyed on the ground, right? Bad juju. Airplane on the ground, or even captured by the enemy, because that's a big thing in this game. Vehicles can be captured by the other side. And since it's factional based, you know when it's happened, because suddenly the enemy's in one of your tanks. So it's really, I like doing that. It's a good time. So you definitely want to be careful how you want to handle that. It's interesting that they want to add bombing facilities and all that. So we'll have to see how the range works out. But I'm hoping that the devs have thought far enough in advance that they limit the range to 2, at most 3 hexes. That's my thinking. Because that way also, you're distracting me now. That way also, a ship like an aircraft carrier would make sense, because you would extend the range of your aircraft and they can follow your ships to the front and be right there and rearm right on the front. And that's the other thing, rearming. They mentioned it on their website that there's going to need to be a pit crew there to rearm and get the planes back up in the air. So I'm thinking also the ammo supply is going to be really low. Like you're going to bomb something and have to come right back for more bombs, or you're only going to have a limited amount of time, like maybe a couple strafes with the fighter before you have to go back and reload.
They're going to be doing that? Update with the mid.
That one comes out on the 18th. They're going to make a little mid train. Those are crazy expensive though. Yeah, they're trains in this game too, like full blown. You make the tracks and everything. It's very entertaining. Oh man, I wish I had
new infantry anti-tank weaponry.
Yeah.
Close quarters combat infantry battle guns. Yeah, medic update. Is that their medic update then?
Yeah, and that's the update coming in the 18th. It's an infantry focused one.
Interesting.
Yeah, the dev branch
Yeah,
is
because
up there.
this is the infantry update.
Yeah,
right.
they're doing the infantry update this month, getting ready
For what's coming.
They're
next
getting
year.
backlog stuff situated. Don't have to deal with it when they're adding such a big. So on that note,
Okay.
we know that we have at least 6 vehicles coming in because each for logistics and for paratrooping, and paratroopers confirmed. You need to counter air power and hopefully strafe bits on the ground. Be entertaining, and then both sides are going to get a bomber. Part of
Or a boomer.
a bomber. Part of what you this what do bombers do? Things. They attacked the front lines, just bomb targets. B,
battleships.
Attacked battleship, counter to naval power, right?
Uh-huh.
And then C, they attacked facilities. So that seems uses of the bomber. Side that ability, the other side the ability, right? You can't give the counter to one and then not the ability. They did kind of do that with the destroyer submarine situation.
No.
No bueno. I don't think they'll do significantly smaller asset destroyer and all that. And you say maybe we'll get even more. But I would say we will get more, but it'll actually be just like now a counter to battleships. You're going to need air power if you can't get these fancy planes. And I'm thinking air power will probably be a mid to late game thing, just like battleship late game thing. It'll be interesting how early they put them in the game, because if you don't, yeah,
realizing
I used your disc. Do that sometimes, but
use everything.
Big butt, little butt, all the butt, but
Cap.
Show it off. Your feet picks next. Anyway, so
You just say
the counter, right? If you can't find a way to deal. That means They're already an anti-aircraft emplacement on the ground. Was like description in the lore aircraft gun, but it was used for anti-infantry purposes in game. Assume that just add a function for attacking aircraft. But we do see.
black is it?
This is clearly anti-aircraft fire from the ground. We can be fairly certain.
They weren't using gas.
No, weren't farting. We can be certain that there will be anti-aircraft guns. Okay. Say some of them AI run, so automated defense. Because everything has an automated aspect. Can't always be on. Some people are. So it's
like how old bunk.
Yeah, this adds another element of.
But you had to feed it.
Well, bunker supplies. Remember,
right?
Remember, so you already have the AT guns that shoot automatically. All they need is bunker supplies and attached AI garrison bunker, right? If they, for example, large naval guns that are in specific map that automatically destroy similar mechanic in buildings at towns, really effective in a large radius at keeping aircraft a part of the game those before you're losing lots of planes. It could be interesting. I won't say that it'll happen. I think they'll keep that more naval, but who knows?
You're on you will want something in or counter
it. You brought that up. I think we're only going to get anti-aircraft vehicle
because you will
because the tanks are obviously going to some way to fight back, not be just completely air power. So it makes sense to have kind of half track or something. There's half tracks and big quad back. It'll be interesting to see how similar the look goes for either faction. It would be cool if one side half track, I think for that, and the other side had an actual tank, which is pros and cons, because one would be cheaper to make and have larger.
That
Be
side
tougher.
is you put the tank side of the. I don't have cargo planes there. Darn. Paratroopers, they blast.
Dun it. Dun.
But of course, they probably won't do that.
We thought that most people didn't think. Don't put it against them. There were in War II actual gliding. Would be in a glider attached to, and they would strap them up to a bomb, and then they'd be really right in. I was in combat a few times.
I laugh at scared several people. Baffled them a bit.
Gumbo.
With the gumbo.
It's very entertaining.
I'm just trying to think.
Speaking.
You can see those.
Zach, where? Beaming you?
Yeah.
You're a bad person, but that's okay.
Horrible.
Speaking of gunboats, I would think they would also include a sea anti-air vehicle.
Huh?
It look like their gun position on the backs. That it'd be interesting if they made the machine guns like a higher arc, so they can shoot up at bombers and stuff. And have a vehicle designed for down planes. One of the obvious things that comes to gunboat variant. So variants of vehicles, the base game that you make on in-game map points, or a ship that's already on the map, and you can build a vehicle there. All vehicles have to be built at those spots, and then some of them upgraded into different types of vehicles with unique this.
You're gonna make a variant with pikes with the set part and just put a gun on it?
There actually is that, yes.
There is?
But it's only collies. But we get a machine gun Jeep if you want to try that next.
I forgot about that.
Yes.
You did the other
I
day.
did mention we amphibious Jeeps. I never used it. Wife's gave her a motorcycle instantly.
What?
While I was doing all the logistical things, getting she's it's a good time. I don't know over any other Logi guys while we were there, to be honest. That was a couple times.
I was away most. I don't care about.
If you don't have to power to the mid to late game, it would be interesting if they gunboat variants that would add 400-meter artillery pew guns down aircraft. And each side has a gun. Change the a little bit. I think that would work out pretty. It would also give more reach. Like gunboats are used for, don't get me wrong, because much cheaper than battleship players, and because they're nimbler, actually getting blind actually do a lot of damage. It was funny, the video last war, the submarines, the Collie submarine, probably buffed too much. We'll see how it, but you turn like shit. The gun would catch them and blow them so they could get their. Be pretty fun. 3 guys destroyed guys inside a submarine. 12 guys in the submarine. Now, colleagues, I think you forgot that you get a cannon and can your torpedoes at sea, unlike our submarine, which is smaller but can't reload at sea and has to go all with dry dock. Yeah. Still say skill issue, but anyway, skill issue. Skill issue. This game. Oh man. Oh. Excuse me. Skill issue gods were not happy with me.
You can call.
Thank you. So,
Sort of.
right. And that's more of the they're going to come from and stuff like that. The real speculation, will we get infantry-based anti-air weapons? And like, because they're all some things like in life, for example, it wasn't used often, but it looks like 1,000 tubes on that the Germans developed in World War II. And it just looks like a weird Gatling gun and a flak shoot out the end. I have one of those in game and an equivalent side because make them expensive, make them slow, make them not do that much, but you can at least tell them. Fighter pilot, oops, for a low strafe, you've been killed 5. It'd be nice.
It like everybody's gonna be having the same amount of running speed.
Yeah, you can't run, but your stamina will regen. Blah blah blah.
Did they do that to the planes?
I would think is like the infantry feel like they were balancing melee at that point because they're adding more melee weapons and they're changing how the bayonet works.
Okay.
So making everyone run balance this aspect where if you had less stuff, you'd run faster. To shadow dances, which would take advantage of the faster and the multiplayer game. So you thing where this guy would be like here, and you waste all your and he just stab you. Shadow dancers were crazy. No more shadow dancing. It's probably for the best, but it was entertaining to watch.
Stop dancing by the fire, or the fire will be.
But I have to be fair to the devs on that one. It was very counterintuitive, shadow dancing. Like, why should the guy running around like a chicken with his head cut off have the advantage over the guy sitting in one spot taking careful aim? Mm-hmm. And he would. It was really annoying. So, hopefully the update will clean that up a bit. I haven't played enough on Dev Branch to know.
Well, I just find it funny.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember some of the ideas we had about using that to our advantage.
It's true. Well, we still will. Like, using smoke grenades. Smoke and the new melee weapons are going to be fun.
And you said there was like a shotgun thing too? Like a single?
A shotgun.
Like a shorter...
Double-barreled shotgun.
But it was going to be their second?
Yeah, you can use it as your pistol.
Is it secondary?
Your secondary.
Okay.
But the club is unfortunately secondary as well, so you have to choose a shotgun or a club. Probably shotgun makes more sense, but it for the memes, I want the clubs to be literal pirates who will swarm the decks with clubs.
They're not going to swipe it off the grenades.
You have a grenade slot as well.
Okay.
We do get anti-tank grenade launched anti-tank grenades now. That's exciting. I love the grenade launchers. I'm a grenade launcher fiend in that game. I gotta share my videos of those. Anyway, is there more I wanted to touch on? Yeah, it would be also interesting.
They would stay the same pretty much, except for the.
So let's get through it, right?
Yeah.
The things that they really need to include to make this feel right would be the anti-aircraft position being able to aim up, and that's a player-man position. The AI anti-air building, which shoots automatically at airplanes. They'll also need to probably do that in town. So if you're new to Foxhole, the buildings in an upgraded town will automatically fire on vehicles and infantry. I think they need to add certain buildings in there that also automatically target air power. Otherwise, the bombers would be just too powerful. You get your bombers and you just blow away a map point that should have taken you days to take, right? Now, they have some mechanics in the late game to allow for some of that to happen, but they all have counters, except for the nukes. I hate the nukes. To be fair, the nukes, yes, they're nukes in this game. To be fair, they cost more than a battleship to make, but and they're a one-time use, but they're still a nuke, and their only counter is to destroy them before they go off. It's a pain in the ass. I hate those freaking nukes.
I mean, that just sounds horrible.
Yeah, and they warn you like 2 days. They warn you 2 days ahead where it's going to strike and where it is on the map. So it's like, and usually if you're going to make a nuke, right, you're going to put a shit ton of defenses around it. So there's this rush as everyone tries to find some way to destroy the nuke, and then there either comes a point where you actually do it, or everyone kind of gives up and goes, "Well, we're just going to get nuked. What are you going to do?" I hate it. But
there's so much other things.
That's the only thing in that game. That is the only thing in that game that doesn't have a proper counter other than destroy it before it takes off.
I hope it doesn't destroy you in the process.
Right, so the anti-aircraft buildings. It'd be interesting also to see, because there's different tiers of those AI buildings. There's the more standard ones that you can, that are just pillboxes. I hope they will do this, that do that do less damage, but are easier to build and are cheaper. You have an anti-tank version and an anti-infantry version of those. It'd be nice to also have an anti-air version of those that only shoots up in the air. And then have a couple tiers, because there's also the bunker versions of that, which are really stronger. It'd be nice to have a tier for both tiers of those as well. So a bunker version, and then the version that you can build with just some BMATs. Basic materials, newbies. Watching you. By the way, Arcanes, if you ever want to play, you let me know. I can hook you up. Well, the current war is going to be a meme war, because they're gonna no matter what happens, they're gonna end on November 18th, and these wars usually take,
like, the longest war was 53 days.
53 days, and the last one took 50 days to end. So a month and a half was how long the last war went. That was a long war, man.
I'm so glad I waited for like a little bit before the last little bit to join in.
That was a lot of fun.
That was right.
Yes, he is intrigued. Right? It's pretty crazy.
It's fun.
It's a good time. I think the shortest war was like 2 weeks long.
But there's so much to remember.
The best way to play the game is to concentrate on one or two aspects for a while, and then spread your wings as you get bored of that aspect of the game. That's the best way to go.
Or just follow him around.
You could do that too. I have lots of crazy ideas and plans. They never end. And you know, if we're lucky and we're on like the European, like, unfortunately, the scum guys I've joined, most of them are in European time, so they're always having their battleship ops while I'm at work. It sucks.
I'm trying to get my cousin to play this. He's like, that's very complicated as he plays another intense game.
Let's see. Oh, I never got right. And then there needs to be some kind of land-based vehicle anti-air unit, so that the tanks that are attacking are completely defenseless against the counterattack that they know is coming. The bombers coming and bombing the front lines, as we saw in the very beginning of the trailer. They need some form of tickling back. And of course, planes on their own side, but some form of tickling back. Especially because there's a strong skill issue aspect of this game. Is like, sure, you might have the bigger stick, but if you're not good with it, you're almost certainly going to lose. There's an aspect of this in the whole game. Like this last war, for example, the Warden Navy was heavily outnumbered because there's just a lot more guys on the other side for the beginning of the war, and a lot more production, and all of a sudden they had most of the map from the vast majority of the war, so most of the resources, so we were outnumbered. But because we practiced more, well, I never got to join it, but those guys practiced a lot. I helped out with other things. I helped build defenses and things. I did my part.
Where's their hat?
I'm doing my part. I didn't do shit. Anyway, so because they were better, we destroyed ship after ship after ship. It got to the point, like, it's usually a big deal when you sink a big ship, but it got to the point where we stopped putting up our clips of sinking the ships because we'd sunk so many. They got to the point where they gave up on Navy and just went full land and tried to end it with nukes.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's also I'm going to talk about this on the recorded video later. There's an aspect where everyone thought that the naval side of things was a sideshow because there's
I remember you mentioned that.
Because there's only 2 victory points on the map on the naval side, and then you have to have 32 to win, and you're only fighting over 2 victory points on the flanks. But the way the maps,
flanks,
we dominated the flanks. The ocean hexes, all ours. Bam.
You pretty much did the cushion.
But they decided to ignore us because they went with the philosophy, we can't beat them, we're putting all these resources in, but we're kicking ass on the land, so let's just concentrate on that. And it was very dicey there for a little bit. They almost cut us in half. But the land guys held long enough. And we were able to distract from the front by attacking the rear lines with an invasion that pulled everybody else from the front, which allowed our side to push land and sea at the same time. It was very entertaining. Oh, they were mad when we took the fingers.
I'm just laughing because I'm thinking about, you mentioned the Jeeps.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking about what was that when we were dating. What did I research?
World War II Jeeps.
What did they do? I want to reenact that into Airborne.
We could do something similar, actually.
Those who don't know history,
we could literally, when the airplanes come and reenact the raid on the airfield.
That's what I'm saying.
So if you guys don't know,
it's your type of mission.
Yes, we would have to someday. So if you guys don't know, in real life in World War II, there was multiple commando units in the British military.
There's a 2-hour documentary about this.
Life noting that exactly, Bryce. You find the right woman. To be fair, she was really bored in her Thai class.
No, I was in transportation class for hospitality management of all things. Boring. All the males left that room, and only the females stayed. And that's a horrible sight.
And
I should have laughed.
I was distracting her on the computer because we were long distance.
And so you brought this story to me.
When I found out she was in transportation.
And I was like, wait a minute. This is interesting. I like Jeeps and I like airplanes.
I had a Jeep.
You had me look at it, and I looked at it, and I'm like, I was going back and forth reading to you when I found out about it.
Yeah.
I have a documentary about this if you want to watch.
And we watched it together. And the rest is history. Okay, it's a little more complicated than that too. Like, I've known her we met each other when I was 5 and she was 3.
No,
so there's a lot of history.
You were 4.
4 and you were 3.
No, I was 2.5.
That's what you were.
I was straight off the plane from Ukraine.
But when I started flirting with her, it wasn't until she was in college. So
Well, I could speak English properly.
One of those things. But yeah, in World War II, there were the commando units that worked in the Sahara, fighting against the Desert Fox himself. Used jeeps, and they would go deep into the Sahara.
Foxhole.
But there's no desert. Devs, we need a desert. New biome, baby.
Sand doesn't mean desert necessarily.
Anyway, and they would go deep into the Sahara, and then they'd come back around the fences of the Germans and attack them. And one of their best raids, they destroyed more Luftwaffe planes on the ground than the entirety of the British Air Force would do. Like, I forget if it was the Mediterranean area or whatever. They killed more planes in like one day than the entire expeditionary force in Africa did for the whole war. That was crazy. And they got away. They survived. All they did was a machine gun truck. They just drove up and down because they made it behind enemy lines.
What's the name of that documentary again?
I forgot. But all they did was they went down the line of planes with their 50 cal or their 30 cal machine guns. And they shot as they went all the way down. They drove by each one and went back, and then they went back into the desert. And that's when they almost died because a plane followed them and destroyed 2 of their jeeps. But they made it out.
They made it out.
It's crazy. So we need to reenact this in game.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
We need to shoot all their planes on the ground.
We'll have a couple of jeeps on the island.
There we go. Gun jeeps just for this. Would different ships probably work better? Yes, but we don't care. It has to be the gun jeeps. And I was trying to get through all my points. You keep distracting me.
I'm doing what
You're
women are
doing the wife
supposed to do.
thing.
I'm doing the wife thing,
Excellent. That's why I
distracting the
bring
men,
you on. All
feeding
right.
them
Right.
what they like.
We have our land-based mobile anti-air to support pushes when you don't have enough planes on your side, or to combine them, right? And this is going to be a really big balance. As I was bringing up, a lot of people thought that the naval was a sideshow that wouldn't actually win a war because they had limited them to water hexes, and you had most of your victory points were along land. However, they situated the maps where the rivers would allow battleships in, and we proved that we could cut off supply to the front using naval power. So if you completely ignore the naval, they would
Stop it.
That's the side with the ships could use their ship leverage to destroy the logistics supply chain. So you ignore the Navy at your own peril. Oh my God. They're going to have to do this delicate balance
makes it worse.
with the Air Force, right?
That's better.
Where the Air Force is going to have to be a threat to contend with, so people build them, but they can't make them too crazy without enough counters that they're just annoying. And GG, you got the bombers first, if you know what I mean. GG, good game. Wife.
Okay.
You should know this.
It just sounds like Aunt Gigi.
Aunt Gigi. Aunt Gigi called. She wants to know why everyone keeps using her name in Call of Duty. Anyway, so they're gonna have to balance that out. It'll be real. I'm really
should have called your ball that.
But the way they did it with the naval stuff, I'm very confident that they're gonna find a right balance. And I think it will be a lot of that interplay between bombers being counters to battleships and being able to destroy the things that counter the bombers, if that makes sense. So combined arms is going to be your best answer. And of course, aircraft carriers win, devs. Come on. Don't leave me in suspense. Also, DevMan,
I'm going to practice my blue angels.
You already made a submarine in the game that has an artillery cannon on it. Like I know what ship, right? The French battleship submarine combo. Beautiful submarine. I love it. Does that mean you can give the Wardens, my faction, the aircraft carrier submarine that the Japanese made during World War II? You think you could do that? Please, maybe. Come on. Think about it. You surface the submarine. They come out of a hangar. They fly. They can come back, and just putting it out there.
Just like true Japans, they always like well compacted things,
And that way you can give the collies another submarine that's more like our Naki submarine. So the smaller, more nimbler submarine, and then you have they get their battleship submarine. We get our I would never hear the end of it. The collies would freak out. Damn it!
Teapot, short and spell.
Oh man, because it's an asymmetrical game, man, some people get really intense, and they did nerf the Wardens after the last war a little bit.
The bargaining and the bribing. What will we do?
Right. Okay, and then speaking on the naval stuff, they'll also need to make some sort of anti-air abilities for the ships, or an anti-air ship. Probably a variant of the gunboat would be my guess. But hey, I'll take like an anti-air cruiser if you want to add a new ship class. Huh? Just a big old ship with a lot of anti-aircraft guns. They exist.
I need to look at this. I need to look at this. I need to look and see what you're
thing.
Coming up. Okay. Cruisers?
Anti-air cruiser.
I spell air cursor.
Air cursor. And they were doing that more and more and later in the war as planes were more of an issue. They would actually take more and more your standard guns off the battleships and destroyers and cruisers, and they would put more anti-aircraft guns on. Late war, World War II ships were all about the anti-aircraft guns.
This one has a blimp on it. Look at.
Oh yeah, okay, that's a little different. Though.
Yeah, this is
that's a funky little dude. By the way,
1918.
By the way,
Sure.
Since we're talking about,
Should I put this on the screen? If it doesn't,
you can try. We'll see what it does.
let me lower my.
Oh, oh no! Oh God!
No,
oh
no,
God!
no.
That's ugly.
That. Okay.
What have you done?
I just wish they could see what I see right now.
Look, the fun thing about taking the references from World War II, like anything you can
That
think
does
of,
not help. I'm so sorry.
ooh, anything you can think of
See, look, it's the little finger.
was pretty much done. Like you want to
Balloon and
tag too
seaplane.
much reflection.
Balloon and seaplane carriers. Early history.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Wow, that is
pretty crazy. Like the fun thing about like World War One, World War II, and pre World War history is everything you can think of. They pretty much tried. Battleship aircraft carrier totally did it.
Balloon carriers.
The Japanese did that to a couple of their battleships. It wasn't too effective. It could have been made effective in the right way, but it wasn't too effective for them at that stage of the war. Like I already brought up, the aircraft carrier submarine, already done. Battleship submarine, French did that. Let's see, what were some of the other great aircraft carrier airship? The Americans did that. How about that? It might have crashed over the mountains and never saw action, but it was cool and it worked, and little biplanes flew out of it. It was beautiful.
That's what I'm trying to show here, because that's a biplane.
No, that's not. That's not what it is. That's dumb. It just had a.
Look, there was an airplane on it, and there was a balloon on it.
You're so cute. I love you.
I am a woman.
But yes, DevMan airships win, please. Like,
wait a minute.
Less armored flying battleship is what I'm thinking. Huh? Yeah. Or maybe the aircraft carrier. Huh? Flying aircraft carrier. Wee. Good times. Come on. You know you want to. But like the sky's the limit for this stuff, and I'm really excited to see.
Interesting choice of words there.
Pun not intended, though it should have been. But yeah, I'm really excited to see what this dev team does with it, because if you're new to the Foxhole, you should check it out. Just look up the naval warfare trailer. Like, the stuff they made is stellar, crazy, and the amount of like multi-crew aspect involved blows my mind. No other game goes to that kind of detail. There's some Survivor games and very concentrated games that have some different roles involved with, like, you're all in one ship playing it, but not to this scale. And it's awesome. So I'm really excited to see what they do with the pit crews. Multi-crew is always awesome. Yeah. If I were to have the dream, right? I don't think it is, looking at the trailer. But if those bombers have an interior you can walk in, like the gunboat has an interior to walk in, the gunboat's actually kind of a similar size to that bomber. They could have a small room that you can walk around in and then move to each position and have some form of damage control while you're flying. Please, DevMan. Please, DevMan. You know you want to do it, because it would add so much more gameplay and working together business going on while you're on the bomber. Being able to patch holes in the frame, switch to a gun from a gunner seat to damage control, or what have you, or from bomber to gun position, whatever it is, all in air would be pretty darn cool. But again, it looks a little too small for that. I think I'm getting my hopes too high, but a man can dream, and I will. Man, if she can dream about
trains and they don't have, there's no evidence of air cruisers.
No, that's just the AI talking.
No, they aren't. I know, but
and it's also it would have been in like an anti-air cruiser, baby. Don't worry about it. It's just a ship with a ton of anti-aircraft guns. My papa was a B-24 dude. That would be a dream come true. Have you seen the?
My grandpa had a
Hey, Bryce, have you seen the trailer we've been watching? You came in pretty late. You should watch it. I don't know if I'll run it again. Maybe because it's only a minute long. It'll be fun. But yeah, I want to get through all my thinking. And then would be really cool to have an infantry mounted some sort of anti-air capability. Oh yeah, cool. Good. Like I was bringing up, like the weird flak shoulder cannon thing that is a real world thing that was made. Wasn't too effective, but they put it in a Battlefield game. I want to see that. Or some sort of way to shoot something from your shoulder at an airplane so infantry have something to say about being strafed. That's all. Guy, I think I talked about most everything.
Just flew by.
Time
Time flies.
It's like in that anime thing. But yeah, I'm an hour and 25 in. I have talked about a 1-minute trailer for an hour and 25 minutes.
Isn't that
If that
amazing?
is not content, I don't know what is. You're welcome. And also, you're saved. If it was a 5-minute trailer, we would have been here till Tuesday.
Oh gosh.
But I think I should start wrapping things up. This is exciting. I highly recommend you guys do try out Foxhole if you haven't. The current war is basically a universal break war, as they call it, where most guys...
It's gonna stop on the 18th?
Yeah, the 18th.
Okay.
They're mostly just trying it out right now. I mean, and they're mostly just messing around right now. Someone will win, but it's a great time to jump in and just like mess up a tank. Right, a really big, expensive thing. In the way the war is right now, there's a very good chance that a clan man might even just give you a tank as a new guy. And just like, hey, have fun.
I should go in there.
Just see what
I'm new.
It could happen.
I will use my nurse. No, my mercenary
right.
mindset in that.
And these tanks, some of these, depending on the...
I won't let them know I'm Slavic.
The tanks in this game, by the way, have to be built, as I've brought up. And they range from taking an hour to make, depending on what we're talking about. I mean, you can maybe make
breaking bread.
Yeah, you can maybe make a tank, depending on how fast you got your resources in, and if there wasn't any lag, and you got your resources to the refinery, or you were lucky enough to find a resource, maybe 20 to 30 minutes on one of the cheaper tanks. The more expensive tanks, literally, if I'm in WoW, I mean, yes. The more expensive tanks can literally take weeks to make. Okay? Like a week to make. Like a super tank, don't get me started how long those things take to make, or, let alone a battleship or a frigate or any of that shit. Again, that's an interesting balancing to wonder, how long are these planes going to take to make? Are they going to be longer than your mid-tanks? Really fast to make, but it just takes a long time to get all the ingredients together to get your resources? Or are how are they going to balance that out? Do they want lots of planes when they get researched? Or are they going to limit the planes and make it very resource intensive so you don't want to lose any? I think they might be a balance, because right now that's where naval is, where you don't want to lose a single ship because of how expensive they are. I think it makes sense to make planes more expensive than tanks, right? But cheap enough that you don't mind losing 5 of them to take out a battleship. Which is kind of accurate to World War II as well. Like, if you look at Midway, the amount of planes that went down just to take out one aircraft carrier is staggering. And yet, that was cost effective. Like, the whole reason why air power became useful in naval warfare was you would have a ship that could attack the enemy without risking itself, if that makes sense, right? Mm-hmm. When things were all guns and shoot, well, to get in range to attack the enemy, they were in range to attack you, right? True. You put your entire ship at risk. But with air power, you could hide your aircraft carrier somewhere, send your planes to attack, and though the airplanes were expensive, they were not as expensive as the aircraft carrier. So losing airplanes was infinitely better than losing the entire aircraft carrier. So if they were trying to emulate that, they should make the planes significantly cheaper than the ships. Like an equivalent amount of firepower would be cheaper to obtain with your airplanes, but the airplanes would be a lot easier to shoot down than destroying a battleship.
Hence the cheaps.
Right. Yeah.
And those are cheap. So,
that's
I know what I'm planning.
If they're trying to balance it, because they do kind of like balance with real world stuff, but then they go off and make it more gamey. Really annoying. And sometimes I get annoyed with that. For example, I wanted to shoot rockets off of an artillery piece, off of a barge, but it wouldn't let me do it.
It won't let you.
So I found an island to do it, and I got my wife killed. It was hilarious. We shot too close to a howitzer trap. And boy, that was exciting.
It fired back. I should have ran the second time, but I was just so amazed by the pretty fireworks.
It was delicious. That's so interesting. Yeah. Ah, man. And again, it'll be interesting to see if they either make the machine guns on the battleship able to angle high and shoot at the airplanes, or if they'll add a position that's anti-air on the battleships. I'm kind of hoping for a little bit of both, and then specific ships that are designed for countering air. I want all of that. Because, battleships in World War II, World War I era all had anti-air positions. And as I said, as the wars went on and planes became more prominent, they had more and more anti-aircraft positions. Like they were ripping normal gun positions off to put anti-aircraft gun positions on. That said, I don't think they want that vibe because as it looks like in the trailer, they want bombers to counter battleships. So at the same time, the battleship being such an asset, like you can spawn on a battleship. It's moving, like players can drive them, but you can spawn in them. It's crazy.
I forgot about that.
It should have some ability to defend itself. So one bomber can't like bomb it, reload, bomb it, reload, bomb it, reload. It should take 3 to 5 bombers, in my opinion, to take out a battleship, and probably over multiple runs. And they should lose a couple bombers in that process, right? I think that's easy, right. That seems fair because you're talking about if they're not fully crewed, maybe 9 guys taking on 20 guys at least. Like a battleship's, if it's not under crewed, should be around 20 people. If it's fully crewed, a fully crewed battleship's at least around 20. So, because you have loaders, you guys doing damage control, like they have to plug leaks. Right. There's all the gunners. There's a lot of different gunners. There's the captain position. There's the spotter position. And you need a lot of guys on there too, because if you get boarded, it does happen. You need to have enough guys to fight back. Otherwise, you can't lose the big ships. They don't let you take them. I wish they would, but because you can spawn on them, right? Right. They can spawn kill you. So they can sit in the room where you spawn and stab you every time you spawn in.
Does this hurt?
That's why you need enough guys on the ship for a lot of different reasons. And also there's like some engineering positions where you like to steer it, you literally have to have a guy for wrench, like hit the right engine with the wrench and it helps steer it. It's very fascinating. Yeah, I know. I need to actually experience this. What are you doing, dog?
You're not gonna.
You better be laying down. Just getting comfortable.
Okay.
She's just trying to scare us. She might have had some things we won't speak about. My backpack will never be the same.
Lemongrass and dogs don't
mix.
She got into the curry.
The curry was delicious.
Way quicker. She didn't get that much curry either, but
it was delicious curry.
It was.
It was too good for that dog.
It was so good.
I paid for it for a whole week. Anyway, so
good thing you let her out today before that bear was out there.
As I've said, though, this could be a great way to add variance to the ocean-going vessels, because we don't have any ocean-going variants yet. It'd be kind of cool to say, okay, here's a frigate, and you can upgrade it or side grade it, because it's usually more of a side grade, though sometimes it's upgrades in the game, in a dry dock or maybe an upgraded dry dock or whatever, and it'll have a concentration of aircraft guns and maybe only 1 artillery piece instead of 2. Right.
You're making me want to look up World War II history, land and sea battles, and try and recreate them in the game.
Foxhole does that to people. Not gonna lie.
Like, I'm gonna have to go back in my reading.
It's a good time.
And look up like those battles, those little.
And the best part is
those little sneak attacks that the Jeeps did, stuff like that, and try and reanimate.
Well, we can do the paratrooper stuff.
There you go. Yeah,
we already know, confirm that, baby. That's exciting in and of itself.
Right there, but yeah.
Warn you for your new people. Everything in this game has to be made, which will include the parachutes. The parachutes will have to be made at a facility or a factory or something. This is the way this game works.
They're so boring.
Right? Like, did you put your parachute on? We didn't build enough, sir. Well, I guess you're going down the hard way.
Oops, it slipped.
It'll also be interesting to see because they're gonna have to change some core mechanics because right now, though there's intense fall damage, like you fall from a very small, you instantly start bleeding. It's hilarious, and then you die. But there's no fall damage when you jump into the water, but you drown really fast. Like this game is very cruel with the drowning mechanics.
I hate it.
Like you'll think you're fine, and then your guy just goes bloop, 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 bloop.
Or if you're carrying heavy things and you don't rest.
Like on one hand, I hope they don't think about what I'm about.
My guy was crawling.
On one hand, I hope they don't think about what I'm bringing up here because I really want to have a moment where we all reenact that scene from the Avengers Civil War movie where Captain America skydives without the parachute, right? And you find like a lake or something and you drop everybody into the lake and they swim ashore because there's no fall damage if you drop into the water, right? I really hope they haven't thought about that. But these devs are actually really good. They tend to find out about these things because
well, now you said it.
Yeah, it's true. We'll see if there's a dev man watching.
There's some earwig somewhere there. Gonna give it to him.
But this game's player base is even more intense than normal player bases, and you'd have to be like if you're the type of guy who can spend weeks in a video game making a single tank and then lose it to a partisan and still play the same game. You're an intense man. You're going to find all the glitches. All of the problems you're going.
There's a lot of problems too. Like,
yeah,
just trying to run a facility and how many problems do you get into? You want to throw that wrench.
It was very complicated. My wife was very angry sometimes. She enjoys the facility work, but she loses her mind sometimes. For example, they found a way to create like medieval walls with the foundations.
Oh,
I still don't know how they do it, but it's pretty intense.
No.
Bro, man. Oh yeah. Oh what yeah, so here's hoping that they haven't thought about the fact that falling in water negates falling damage and that we can parachute drop into lakes for a time before they patch it out. Because I just want to see this entertaining like from planes without parachutes and go bloop, 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 like sink 5,000 meters and then bloop, and then they're back up.
Are you gonna have a floater that you can put on your back when you jump with the plane for that moment?
Obviously not, but hey, devs, that would actually
like seriously.
Could you create a little float device that we can make and then like float across a river, please? I know you don't like crossing spots on rivers, but they created a mechanic, for example, that the rivers can ice up and you can walk across them. So this is what I'm saying. Like, if we put the production into it, could we have a method to cross rivers? Yeah. Bridge, if you're new, bridge battles are the devil. You will literally have a bridge battle that stays on a bridge for like a whole month sometimes. I've seen it happen where it doesn't budge the entire war.
Oh gosh.
And you'll look at like the casualty rates on the map.
It's the longest game of like tug of war.
And you'll have like 100,000 casualties on both sides before the war's over, just fighting over one damn bridge. Personally, I kind of and I love them because they're great grenade spam spots, and I could usually push and get people across the bridge, but once they're across, you're screwed because then they will send tanks against you, and you have no way to defend yourself. It's very sad. Very sad. Oh man.
My cheeks hurt from smiling.
This has been a lot of fun. This is what's fun about really complex games, is because there's so much to talk about. And it's so much fun theory crafting.
And there's like, it's fun. Like, even after you talk about it, you start coming up with ideas like, whoa, why did I say this? That's going to happen.
And just the amount of inspiration this dev team takes from World War I and World War II makes it all the more fun because you can think of all the cool vehicles and crap they can make. And you sit there theory crafting for hours. For example, I'm going to make a video on this one, but midget submarines are a thing in real life. This is the submarine with 3 to 5 guys on it.
How short do the guys have to be?
Well, you know. And, I mean, the Japanese had their like suicide torpedoes that would put a guy in it, and he would drive the torpedo into the ship.
Japanese version of a suicide bomber. No,
we're pretty sure they started the modern idea of that. It was them, kamikazes and all that.
All right.
But they found the Kamikaze of the Sea, which was a mobile driving torpedo. And but the midget submarines, all of the factions had these, actually. 3 to 5 people. The battleship Kibitz. Sounds like a dog food.
Did they put new landiers in them?
The point is,
after it landed?
it was severely damaged by midget subs. The Kibitz.
The Kibitz.
It's a German word. Anyway. And for all the new people, submarines in this game take an immense amount of time to learn and are crazy expensive. Really expensive. They're the cheapest of all of the big ships. There might be.
But torpedoes cost
one of the,
so much.
And the torpedoes are really expensive. So it's one of the, and they're really necessary in the war to counter battleships and destroyers. So you really need to learn how to make it. But it's an expensive asset. It's probably one of the hardest things to use in the game because they went all out on hard submarine tactics. Like
I'm gonna have to watch how
it's
they
really
did it.
hard.
There's clips out there.
You
I'm
actually
sure.
have
There's
multiple
there,
people that control different ballast tanks,
Yeah.
and they have to coordinate to make it work. Otherwise, you'll do like this number or you'll do like that number, and the ship will freak out.
There's videos out there that done that.
Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. So it's really hard to use them effectively. But you need them, as I brought up. Maybe less now. I guess you could try bombers instead. But subs, your sneaky submarines. Man, now it's been buffed too. The Collie submarine is going to be much more useful when airplanes come out. Why, you may say? Well, because a ship that can bombard the coast but hide from airplanes is going to be really useful, isn't it? Bastards. Heinz, if you're watching this, that's our
I remember.
leader. That's our regiment leader. We need to worry about this. Somebody from Scum. We need to theory craft what we're going to do about those freaks. Probably not. I mean, this is my first Foxhole stream. Come on. I left a link on there in
You've
case
done
anyone
shorts
knows.
before.
I haven't posted them yet.
I thought you did that.
I haven't yet. I need to. I was trying to get a few of them together so I'd have multiple to put up in a row, but I might need to just start.
You're just going to have to shotgun blast it.
Like I still have to get my lesson up for Sunday. It's sitting there staring at me going,
woe is me.
You're going to have to restart. I have to, before I go to bed, get the creepy podcast up for tomorrow. Oh, yeah. Hey, guys. We do a creepy podcast every Saturday. It'll come up tomorrow at, I think I did 5 p.m.? Probably 5 p.m.
Yeah.
5 p.m.
If you, yeah.
I don't remember which one I'm putting up.
That's one of the older ones, aren't you?
This one, yes. We're going to do one of the older ones.
Then
this one I'm debating between Satanist Preschool or the ant people, the Hopi ant people. All right, if you're on and you're making comments, do you want Satanist Preschool tomorrow or the Hopi ant people? Do you think anyone will answer? Wife's like, what the heck are you talking about? And
anybody walks into the room and hears that, you're going to be like,
it's not my fault the Native American Hopi people named themselves stupid, okay? It's not my fault that they named themselves a gay-ass name.
There. For the
Hopi people for the win. All right, Bryce, you win. We'll do the ant people tomorrow. Weird either way. It's good times. Yes.
And then the week after that, we're doing the most recent.
Yeah, the one we just recorded.
That we just recorded.
That one is all about Lilith. Make sure you bring prayers for that one.
Psalms 91 in particular.
And a lot of crucifixes and all that. I can't watch live on Saturdays, but and it's not a live thing. It's a podcast. It's already pre-recorded.
And uploaded.
Watch it at your leisure.
So
watch it at your leisure. Leave a comment, let me know what you think. Technically we put it up on Odyssey last year, but it didn't get much traction there. So I'm going to try it on YouTube, and I felt like making the series again, so we're going to go again. It's much like this.
It's just a lot easier.
But I have more notes ready to go.
It's more professional.
The original furry. More ways than one.
Oh, God.
You know, the funny thing is collies are jokingly referred to as furries in this game. which is probably why I joined the Wardens. I will also download Foxhole. Oh, really? I was
Yay.
worried that Foxhole would be furry dating. Like I said, there are furries who play this game. Watch out for them. They're weird.
Join the Wardens if you're gonna go there.
They're on both sides, unfortunately,
Oh,
but they're
darn.
more concentrated on the collies. So you join whichever side you like. I'll probably be playing Warden. There's a link in I put it in the description for my Discord, and I can send you over to the Scum guys if you actually want a big crew to hang out with. Boy being captured alive, yes. Yeah. Though it's actually kind of entertaining. Not gonna lie. We do war crimes all the time. Both sides. It's very entertaining. Because there's team speak, and you can speak to the enemy while you're like on the ground waiting to get revived.
God.
It's the best. We kidnap each other all
Somebody
the time.
kidnapped you and took you in the back of their thing, and then they like discarded you in some
Threw me in the ocean. It was quite entertaining. We had a great
You were their
conversation.
trophy, apparently, from that.
It is a sandbox game in many ways. So you'll have random moments. Like in the last war, when the collies were at the point where they were losing and they knew and they couldn't shake it, some guy built a maze out of electricity poles. Like it was like a hedge maze. I saw the video of it. It was hilarious. So they would spot in and like do the hedge maze. And the funny thing is, these electricity poles take no friendly fire damage. So unless the enemy came in to destroy them, or enough of their team voted that they could be destroyed, they couldn't be destroyed.
So you can literally just go through there and use it as a barrier.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
for a while.
The enemy can destroy
The
them.
enemy can. Okay.
So we can't use them against the enemy, but you could use it against your own faction like an asshole.
And just,
But
play shenanigans. I see.
Yes.
See.
Yeah.
It's like a room divider.
Like I said, you can eventually destroy them if you get 3 to 5 people to vote on the same poll and say that it's disruptive placement.
Voting on a poll.
But you're literally talking about probably 300 polls.
Sounds like fireworks.
There you go. But it's an actual person talking to you. It's very entertaining.
You know what's funny though? You can't drive vehicles off anymore because in Foxhole.
What do you mean?
In the water, because you might get banned from.
Well,
for what? You have a timeout.
Remember, I drove like 4 vehicles into the sea.
You started that.
No. There was already a thing. I was participating.
You're pushing the envelope.
Participating. I drove 2 cranes and a truck into the ocean. Okay, and since technically, when you get in a vehicle,
this is why I have like anxiety, just trying not to fall.
I did it on purpose. Okay. It was partisan work. I was destroying the enemy's goods.
No, you can't do that anymore.
Yeah, it was. Well, no, you can. What happens in this game, right? When you get into a vehicle, it changes factions. So when I drove the vehicles into the sea, even though they were enemy vehicles I stole, it counted them as my same faction. There is
what happened?
An alt problem where people will literally make.
They'll do it on purpose.
No, they'll make a side account on the other faction just to sabotage. It's really annoying. We had that 2 wars ago. Our basically there's a ship that has an automatic turret that'll shoot smaller ships, right? But it only works when your ship's anchored. And we had an alt raise the anchor on our ship while we were all off, and that ship was guarding all our QRF gunboats, quick response force, as we call it, QRF. And they stole our gunboats and destroyed the longhook. Those dirty bastards.
Wow.
Dirty bastards. I'd like to say one side does it more than the other, but no, they both do. They're just both weirdos. I don't know who they are. Like, this is a game, guys. Have fun. Don't ruin it.
It just cracks me up because see all these grown playing this and acting all playing pranks.
I mean, I guess you could also counter from the alt's perspective and say it's a game, bro. Calm down. What can I say to that? Other than, but you're making the game not as fun for everybody else, you bastard. Shut up. Oh man. It's funny how we've been in the small screen the whole time.
Oh,
We've been done with that video for quite a while. Probably a good 40 minutes. God, we're almost 2 hours out.
Wow.
This is one of our longer streams.
I'm still following. It's fun.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh man, the amount of shenanigans that can happen too.
True.
With the airplanes.
I'm just pointing out on the 18th when they include clubs. Not the dancing clubs, like the smacking clubs. They're literally including clubs in the game where you smack
the
people.
other side has like a little sword.
A little sword.
Machete or something.
Mm-hmm. That means that we're going to be able to board a boat and club the crew to death like we're in a medieval galley or something.
Smoke them out.
Smoke them so they can't see it.
And then stab them, whack them, whatever.
Jump on their boat and smack
as soon
the crap
as you do that, as soon as like the smoke fades, you got their double barrel route ready for them.
There you go. Well, you can have the double barrel. I'll take the club.
Well, I know you like clubbing people, so yeah. I need some space.
I'll club all those baby seals, those furry seals.
Just not Peanut.
Not Peanut. He's not a seal. He's a squirrel.
I know.
Wow.
What would be a sea squirrel?
Huh? Harambe? What? Harambe, is that you? Yeah, I'm trying to think if there was any other point I wanted to bring up in this deep dive, and my brain's like, work tomorrow. What am I doing with my life? I have other things to do. Kids are going to be up in the morning, jumping on my face, pointing at video games when I'm trying to work.
That is kind of funny, actually.
Look,
So look at the icon for hell divers going, bug.
Kill the bugs, Dad. I'm trying to work here, child.
Oh, this is AI.
Kill the AI. Kill the bugs. Train them well. You know, I just watched a joke video about Star Citizen, and it claimed like it was saying what kind of person you were according to what ship you liked. And there's one ship with like 8 turrets, and it says you raised your 8 kids to man all the turrets of this ship. And I'm like, yes, that is me. Only it'll be the Perseus, because I like big battleship guns in space too.
What's the? I gotta look at that because now I'm curious.
That was a lot of
now
fun.
they got more.
More what?
More ships.
Oh yeah, they've got a bunch of new ships coming in Star Citizen.
So they gotta update that thing now.
Crazy enough, I didn't think I was gonna have enough to talk about with that 1 minute long trailer, but apparently I had 2 hours worth of side stories, on part stories, deep dive thinking, aspects of the game. I didn't expect, because I was originally also going to bring up some of the new Star Citizen spaceships.
We
coming
didn't
out.
even touch Star Citizen. We just talked almost 2 hours for.
Yeah.
Man, if you brought Star Citizen into this would be like
here.
a 4-hour stream.
I can't.
We can't do that right now.
Don't worry. Maybe next week, because
next week.
The
break it up. Give it time. Yeah.
Ship Expo is until the 20th anyway, so new spaceships won't come in until then.
Ooh.
So there's a few new spaceships coming in. There's a super freelancer, which is funny because the freelancer is shaped like a dick.
There's a super freelancer. Oh gosh.
So it's a super dick. Yes, I feel like getting one in game. Actually, it seems like a nice target ship. Super dick. They let you name your ship, so I might name it the Super Dick. I might have to do it in another language so they don't know what I'm saying. But
you try typing in Chinese, I will say something like your beef stew or something.
Tiger penis.
No.
Excellent. Oh, hello, Tiger penis. How are you? Yes.
You're not talking about my kitty cat. No.
Oh!
You didn't like that.
Super deep. Ah, yeah. Bryce got it.
Hey.
Bryce knows. That's the way to do it. We'll call it Super Boutique. But we all know what we're reading. Big Richard. Yes. Add the Big Richard. Can I get a boat in real life and name it the Big Richard? Can we do that? I think it's legal, right? Because you get to name your own boat. Yes. I'm gonna write this down when I get a notebook. The Big Richard. But we'll
You're
save
gonna write a whole history about it.
Tricky Richard. But we'll talk
Poor
more.
kid's legs.
We'll do IEE news. So next Friday, I kind of want to make this stream kind of like a video game news about various games that I like to play and stuff. I might expand out because I love Phantom Pulse art games, but it's all politics, man. I don't know. Maybe I missed some of your guys' articles, but it's like all politics, and that means there's a hole. There's no one talking about new games coming out or updates to current good games. Like some live service games, like Foxhole, is technically a live service game because you get expansions every year, but they don't charge for the expansions and they don't have in-game shop. Right, the only time you give them money is when you buy the game. Which honestly, I'm impressed. I don't know how they're still making money, but they are. They get new people every year with every update. It's pretty impressive.
Dang.
So all that content I brought up, everything from the trains to the flamethrowers to the facility updates to all those different vehicles. There's like dozens and dozens of different tanks in this game. It boggles the mind.
Just looking at the inventory when you go in the garage, I'm like, holy cow. Go into the bunkers and they have all sorts of other things just for the factories and then the updates for each factory. You're like, some of them may have 2, maybe 3 upgrades, per factory. And we're like,
my wife's brain was exploding. I got all of that for, I think I spent $40. You gotta make more B mats, you gotta make more C mats, and just, to have some of that other content, non-political. Okay, is that what John Trent's going to be doing? Cool. Well, 2 you guys are. I'm going to be doing some of it. I'll do my own thing on it. I hope he does though, because it'd be nice to have some written stuff on that. Good. I didn't know who Trent was when he was bringing him up, so that might be part of the problem.
Well, Yeah.
Anyway, that's me. So I kind of want to make this. Hey guys, here's this video game I found. Here's this new updated game I like to play. Blah blah blah. Maybe we'll get into a little bit of Helldivers too, because
just a little bit, and then 2 hours later.
2 hours later. Like I said, I was worried I wasn't gonna get enough content with a minute. Man,
that coffee did something good, I guess.
Trent Horn for a while. I don't know who that is either. But then I never knew who any of these journalist types were, whether video game or otherwise. Other than whenever they were on video, they tended to look pretty gay. There were no masculine-looking video game journos back in the day that I could think of. Which is why it was so exciting back before Ubisoft really lost its mind. They acquired the company that made For Honor. You guys remember when that was announced? Ooh. And they had that big Viking guy. Like I think he was actually had a leg problem because he had a cane, but he had like this super Viking look, and he introduced this melee game. It was so exciting, like the way he set it up. He wanted to jump in, but ironically, even though he looked like a Viking, he wanted to play as the Knights, not the Vikings. Catholic YouTuber with big frowny face for all Protestants. John would find a guy like that. I am entertained. Or that's the other guy you thought he was. You gotcha.
Oh, that's funny.
Catholics crack me up, man. Oh, the Catholic Protestant flame wars. And then you got the Coptics in the corner, like just kind of. Sometimes I have that image of them, like that they put that image of like the vampire dudes like in the back, like just looking down on everyone, like, well, what are you doing?
It still cracks me up. Oh, it's Jesus. I went on. The flame wars were starting up. And you're like, oh, this has happened once before. I'm like, what?
Yeah, this is only the latest wave of flame wars.
Oh, don't worry about it. It goes on after a while and then it's done.
Yeah,
Okay, fair enough.
That was a good time. I'm glad those are done, though. Those were
events. I think that was probably about the time when Fox goes in there and stops everyone around.
You were there for when he finally intervened. The wars got so bad that he intervened. So I'm going to laugh if you came here for the video games and now you're hearing about the Catholic Protestant wars on a random... That was so funny. You know what? I have a suggestion, okay? Well, if you guys want to fight Catholics, Protestants, join Foxhole. The Catholics can be the wardens.
Oh,
The
gosh.
collies can be the Protestants, and you can duke it out and kill each other, and you'll probably love each other by the end because it's really entertaining to capture
It's
people.
funny how games farm people together.
It's true. Some of the best conversations I've had in this game are when I'm captured and joshing with the enemy, or insulting a tank driver's ancestors. Oh, I love doing that. Because in Foxhole, there's these anti-tank grenades that tankers are like disturbed of, like they have PTSD about these tank grenades, and infantry guys running at them. But the little character doesn't look like he's holding a grenade, so you can just run at them, not equipping anything.
You need to
And the
share
tanks
that video. You need to share that video.
And the
you
tanks
really
freak
got
out.
under that guy's skin. It was hilarious. He was like getting at you, like, yeah, shut up.
Like, every tank freaks out if you run at them not equipped anything. They assume you have an ash grenade and they go, "Oh no!" And they like throw it in reverse. You can like make an entire tank
They
line
end
run
up
away.
shooting each other. It's a beautiful moral
wonderful
right
way.
there. Moral, whatever you call it.
It's the best thing to do.
Save it.
All right, but we're 2 hours in. I have work in the morning, so this has been fun, guys. Like I said, the Discord link should be there. If it's not, let me know, and I'll include it in the description later. Every Saturday, we will be putting up our creepy podcast. Sundays are the Sunday school lessons for young men. That goes up on Arc. Thanks, Arcade. That goes up on Archaven, and then we do a stream going over it on Monday. That'll be on this channel. Eventually, we'll be adding some short form stuff and just fun video game videos as well. But every Friday, I'm planning on streaming about video games, probably news related stuff, updates. But if there's none of that, maybe we'll just play something. Meow yourself.
You in a minute.
You believe this cat?
I said that like how many hours ago though? It's almost.
Listen here, Tiger Penis.
Don't you?
He is now Tiger Penis. All right, guys. I'll see you guys at the next one. Like, subscribe, share. Good times. Join the Discord. Definitely join the Discord, though, because Foxhole is way better with friends. And if you guys all join and we're all on the same time, we can man a gunboat or something. You let me know. So,
Good night, good morning, wherever you're at. I'm going.
Mama Grizzly's out.
It's already morning.
Okay, I'm out.